This is the tale of the cursed treasure of the Black Tide. Under a sky ripped by storms, ocean swells, challenging even the most expert sailors. The Seahawk, a lone pirate ship, dares to challenge the towering waves, its black sails swirling against the wind. Captain Drake stands determined at the helm, a fearsome figure whose gaze could freeze the soul, defying both storm and fate. His weathered face, a testament to countless battles, reflects the unyielding spirit of a pirate king. The Seahawk forges ahead, its destiny knotted with that of its unconquerable captain, braving the storm's fury. In the dim cabin, Drake sits alone, a treasure chest overflowing with gold before him. Candlelight flickers across the gold coins and glittering jewels, reflecting in Drake's greedy eyes. His hand hovers over the riches, a silent promise of possession. Drake's voice, a gravely growl, warns of dire consequences.
Whoever dares touch my gold shall be swallowed by the sea.
The shadows deepen around him, as if the cabin itself is guarding its master's treasure. The air crackles with tension, as Drake guards his treasure with cruel powers. Years drift by. The harbor teems with life, a symphony of sights and sounds. A brave young sailor named Elias discovered a hidden treasure map. Among the chaos, Elias's eyes sparkle with adventure as he navigates the crowded docks. Chance guides his hand to a cracked seashell, an unassuming vessel of secrets. Within the shell's fragile embrace, a hidden map awaits, a whisper of forgotten voyages. Elias holds the ancient map, his expression shifting from curiosity to wonder. In the dimly lit inn, Elias, a seasoned captain, gathers his crew around a rough-hewn table. Elias leans in, his weathered face illuminated by the flickering candlelight, and states, "All right, let's have a look at this map again." Marin's eyes gleam with determination as she speaks. Drake's treasure. Legend says it's beyond imagination. The cook, his face etched with seafaring tales, adds with a skeptical tone, but legends are often born of tall tales and wishful thinking, though I have a feeling this one is true." Perched on the cook's shoulder, Jack the parrot squawks, mimicking, "True, true. Pieces of 8, pieces of 8. Under the vast sky, Elias and his crew ready, the sea, whisper for departure. Embarking on a journey where the sea's embrace promises both hope and uncertainty. With sails swirling in the wind, the Sia whisper glides away from the shore, cutting through the waves towards an open sea. The crew works in unison, their movements precise and practiced, as they navigate the waters, each action contributing to the ship's forward momentum. Elias surveys the horizon, his eyes reflecting a mix of excitement and caution, aware of the challenges that lie ahead. Seagulls circle above, the sea whisper, their cries echoing across the water, as the ship leaves a small outline against the vastness of the ocean. The sun casts a golden glow upon the waters, creating a mesmerizing dance of light and shadow that hints at the hidden wonders beneath the waves. Under the cloak of a stormy night, the ocean unleashes its fury. The Sea Whisper, a fragile vessel, is tossed mercilessly by the raging sea. Brief flashes of lightning reveal the crew's faces, etched with raw terror. Each lightning strike paints a portrait of desperation aboard the doomed ship. The Sea Whisper is tossed mercilessly by the storm as Marin fights to keep control. Rain lashes the portholes, blurring the world outside as Marin's focus remains unbroken. The cook shares chilling tales of Drake's lost ghost ship, its spectral sails forever searching. Jack, haunted by the cook's tales, mimics ghostly whispers, amplifying the storm's dread. The ship groans under the harsh strike, each hit a sign of the sea's fury. The ocean stretches into the night, its dark waves concealing secrets beneath the surface. A shadow emerges from the depths, cutting through the water with an eerie grace. An enormous black ship materializes, its torn sails a haunting shadow against the moon. This is the Phantom Raider, a ghost ship guarding Drake's treasure, its presence chilling the air. The crew stares in disbelief, their faces illuminated by the ghostly glow of the ship. The spectral shadow of the Phantom Raider fades into the mist, leaving behind an unsettling silence. The Sea Whisper battles the vast ocean, its weathered hull a sign of countless voyages. Navigating by an ancient map, the vessel braves treacherous whirlpools that churn the sea into a violent froth. Crew's faces, filled with firm determination, reflect the harsh spirit of the quest. The Sea Whisper cuts through the turbulent waters, pushing forward against the ocean's power. The crew's unwavering resolve stands firm against the ocean's fury. From the inky abyss, a colossal sea monster emerges, its shadow swallowing the stars. The monster unleashes its fury upon the Sea Whisper, a harsh hit of nature's wrath. Mid of all the chaos, Alias and his crew stand as a sign of resistance, cannons ablaze against the encroaching darkness. With firm determination, they wield both brute force and cunning, their faces illuminated by the dance of explosions. The Sea Whisper sails serenely on the open sea, unaware of the looming danger. Suddenly, rival pirates emerge, their cannons firing and shattering the calm with thunderous booms. Among all the chaos, splinters fly and smoke fills the air as the battle intensifies. The rival pirates, harsh in their hit, begin to overwhelm the Sea Whisper's courageous defense. Through the mist, Treasure Island looms, a realm of whispered legends and long-lost secrets. Elias's eyes are fixed on the mysterious island. As his crew prepares to disembark, the crew approaches the shore, the island veiled in an ethereal mist. Elias takes a step forward, leading the crew deeper into the island's embrace. As they venture into the island, the mist swirls around them, concealing the path ahead. Beneath the ethereal moonlight, a treasure island reveals its ancient secrets. An ancient temple stands, its heart concealing a treasure of otherworldly luminescence. Deep within the temple's embrace, the treasure chest awaits, its surface shimmering with promise. The air grows heavy, filled with the anticipation of untold riches and forgotten myths. The island holds its breath, as if guarding the secrets of ages past. In the ancient temple, Elias extends his hand, drawn by the allure of the ornate treasure chest. His fingers brush against the cold surface, awakening an ancient power. A low rumble echoes through the temple, the floor vibrating with mounting dread. Outside, the tranquil sea transforms into a tempestuous fury, the waves rising like vengeful spirits. The ominous surge of the sea mirrors the escalating danger within the temple. Under the veil of night, the island slumbers, shadows stretching like grasping fingers across the silvery sand. A chilling gust heralds his arrival, as Captain Drake's ghost materializes from the ether, his eyes burning with spectral fire. The very air crackles with unnatural energy. His voice, a haunting echo from the depths of time, pierces the night's silence. You dare steal what is mine? His spectral form looms, a chilling reminder of the island's cursed past. Beneath the cloak of night, Marin emerges onto Treasure Island. Moonlight kisses the ancient map in Marin's grasp, revealing a path to untold riches. Her eyes blaze with fierce determination, a warrior's spirit ignited by the thrill of the chase. She declares,
"This treasure doesn't belong to the dead. It belongs to the living who fight for it."
Her words echo through the night, a challenge to the island's ancient guardians. Under the cloak of night on Treasure Island, Elias confronts destiny, a golden crown gleaming in his grasp. The moonlight dances on the crown, casting eerie shadows as Elias prepares to defy fate. With a bold action, he tossed the crown into the sea, challenging the ancient curse. "This curse ends now," Elias declares, his voice echoing against the roar of the sea. The dark, churning sea swallows the golden crown. As Elias watches with a mix of hope and anxiety, the spectral Captain Drake slowly fades, his ethereal form dissolving into the encroaching darkness. Tranquility reclaims Treasure Island. As the night deepens, the curse finally lifted. The waves soften, their gentle rhythm a balm of peace, washing away the island's tormented past. A profound serenity descends upon Treasure Island, the ancient curse broken and the spirits finally at rest. In the heart of the ancient temple, the crew assembles, their faces illuminated by the soft glimmer of treasure. The treasure chest sits open, its glittering contents casting an enchanting spell over all who behold it. A triumphant atmosphere engulfs the ancient temple, a celebration of victory echoing through its weathered stones. Jewels and pearls shimmer, their shine a sign of the crew's hard-fought triumph. Their quest complete, the crew savors the moment, their spirits buoyed by the riches before them. The temple, once a silent guard, now filled with the joyous echoes of their success. The Sea Whisper, a vessel of dreams realized, cuts through the turquoise waters, its hull radiant under the sun's gaze. Its sails swell, embracing the wind's call as it distances itself from the island. The ship sits low, heavy with the weight of triumph. Each ripple whispers tales of adventure. As the Sea Whisper journeys on, the horizon beckons, promising new horizons. At the head of the long table, the cook beams, a sign of warmth amidst the weathered faces. He proclaims excitedly,
"Tonight, we feast. We celebrate the storms weathered, the treasures found, and the bonds forged in the heart of the sea. Each challenge has made us stronger, each victory sweeter. To the Sea Whisper and to the finest crew a cook could ask for."
The Sea Whisper cuts gracefully across the vast ocean expanse, bathed in the radiant glow of the sun. Dolphins dance in the ship's wake, their forms shimmering as they breach the water's surface. Sunlight splashes across the waves, illuminating the dolphins' balletic display. The Sea Whisper persists, its sails full, a silent witness to the dolphins' joyous frolic. The Sea Whisper approaches, its sails swirling majestically as it graces the harbor. Townspeople fill the docks, their faces glowing with anticipation as they await the ship's arrival. The gangplank extends, bridging ship and shore. The crew disembarks, their smiles radiant, celebrating a triumphant return. Inside the bustling inn, warmth and peace fill the air as the townsfolk gather. Elias and Marin stand side by side, ready to share tales of their daring adventures. The cook and Jack join in, their faces illuminated by the flickering candlelight, ready to add their voices to the narrative. Long shadows dance across the inn walls, enhancing the atmosphere of mystery and anticipation. At the harbor, dawn breaks in a blaze of color as Elias and Marin arrive, side by side. The ocean mirrors the vibrant sky, reflecting their shared triumph. A sense of accomplishment washes over them, their faces mirroring a journey completed and a bond forged. They stand together, the horizon stretching before them, knowing they have discovered a legendary tale.
Aisha's family moved out to the farmhouse. The farmhouse stands weathered yet inviting, its peeling paint and overgrown vines whispering tales of time. Aisha, her eyes wide with youthful wonder, gazes upon the scene with a blend of curiosity and unease. air carries an unfamiliar fragrance of wood smoke, mixing in the stillness of the countryside. Distant bird song echoes through the quiet village, a gentle symphony that underscores the family's arrival. Asha cautiously steps into the old farmhouse, her senses alert. Sunlight filters through dusty windows, casting long shadows that dance across the antique furniture. An unsettling presence grows as Aisha approaches the shadowed stairs. The old house groans around her, its secrets whispering. One day, out of curiosity, Aisha slowly walks toward the narrow, shadowed stairs leading to the attic. She steps into the attic, the air thick with cold and foreboding. Dust motes dance like ghostly apparitions in the faint light. An antique mirror stands hidden in shadow, its secrets guarded by a moth-eaten cloth. The lone light bulb flickers ominously, casting long, dancing shadows across the room. Aisha advances cautiously, drawn by an unseen force. The shadows lengthen, twisting familiar shapes into menacing figures. She immediately leaves the room. At night, she returns to the attic, where dust dances in the moonlight. She moves with a clear sense of purpose, her eyes set on a forgotten corner of the room. She pauses before a large, ornate mirror, hidden beneath a faded cloth, pulling the cloth away, revealing the mirror's unsettling symbols. She stands before the antique mirror. She tilts her head inquisitively, testing the strange delay of the reflection. Reflection mimics her movement, but a bit too late, sending a chill down the spine. The air grows heavy with unease as the mirror's secret lingers unspoken. In the dimly lit attic, Aisha slowly raises her hand towards the antique mirror. The reflection hesitates, then eerily mirrors Aisha's movement. A bit later, the reflection's lips curve into a sinister smile. A wave of terror washes over her as she saw the impossible. She remains frozen, eyes fixated on the mirror, and body started trembling. She hardly reached her room. In the dead of night, she lies awake, her eyes wide and haunted in the darkness. Sleep refuses to come, her body restless as she tosses and turns, the soft sheets whispering around her. The tormenting image of the smiling reflection flickers behind her eyelids. Outside, the wind howls with the fury of a tormented spirit, rattling the windows and whistling through the eaves as the old house groans in protest. In the eerie stillness of her dream, Aisha confronts her reflection in the mirror. The reflection wasn't hers. Lips twist into a cruel smile, a sinister contrast to Aisha's bewildered expression. A chilling whisper echoes through the room, a voice not of this world. The reflection speaks in a language unknown, foreign, and deeply unsettling. The chilling words hang in the air, a dark omen in the silent bedroom. In the silent depths of night, a mirror's surface shimmers, a gateway to the unreal. A ripple becomes reality as Aisha's reflection breaks free, stepping out of the glass. Aisha, clad in night clothes, is barefoot and attempts to flee the encroaching horror. The reflection mirrors her every move, a twisted parody, only a step ahead. The dream comes each night, increasing the terror and chilling, dead frightening. Out of curiosity and to overcome her fears, Aisha went again next morning. The reflection stands still, its posture subtly unnatural, creating a chilling sense of unease. Aisha cautiously re-enters the attic, where dust motes twirl in the pale morning light. The mirror stands silently against the wall, its surface gleaming softly as if touched by unseen hands. Aisha pauses, her eyes narrowing as she notices a faint handprint ghosting the glass. The handprint seems to press from within, a silent echo from the other side. Aisha stands frozen, her breath catching in her throat as she stares at the mysterious mark. She ran from attic and entered the kitchen, where her nanny was already sitting in sunlight, peeping through the window. She sit across her on the table. Aisha's eyes widen as she reveals, "I found a mirror with a strange handprint on it." Nani's expression darkens, a shadow falling over her face. Nani warns, her voice laced with dread. "You found the devil's mirror." The warm light in the kitchen seems to flicker, casting eerie shadows that dance around them. Nani stands solemnly in the kitchen, the weight of her words hanging heavy in the air. Her voice drops to a whisper as she begins to unravel the mirror's sinister past. A woman who practiced dark magic lived in this house, Nani reveals, her eyes filled with a deep knowing. She explains, her tone laced with warning. She made that mirror to trap souls. The kitchen grows colder as Nani speaks of the trapped souls, the air thick with unseen presence. They say her spirit still lives inside it. Nani concludes, the room now echoing with the chilling possibility. Aisha starts trembling, her hands betraying a storm within. She whispers, her voice barely audible amidst the silence. "What do I do?" Nani's voice, a firm anchor in the swirling chaos, commands. "Cover it." Nani continues, her words sharp and urgent. "Don't look into it again." Nani's tone softens, a promise of solace in her next words. "I will call the Maulvi in the morning." Aisha stares blankly ahead, her mind racing as she processes Nani's instructions, the weight of the unknown pressing down on her. But, to dismay of the family, the shadow has already captured Aisha. In the dimly lit attic, Aisha lies in a deep slumber, unaware of the eerie transformation unfolding around her. The antique mirror stands exposed, its surface gleaming ominously in the darkness, hinting at hidden secrets. A disturbing anomaly. Aisha's reflection is missing, replaced by a chilling void. Aisha suddenly cries out, "Ah!" as the terrifying reality of her missing reflection dawns on her. Aisha's parents rush into the attic, their faces masks of sheer terror. The attic reveals its emptiness, a silent testament to Aisha's disappearance. The ornate mirror is gone, leaving an echoing void where beauty once reflected. Silence descends, broken only by the ghostly scent of extinguished candles. A whisper lingers, a voice not Aisha's, weaving through the stillness. Against the backdrop of an inky sky, an old farmhouse stands in silent, cloaked in shadows. Villagers gather, their faces lit by the faint glow of lanterns, whispering tales of shadows and reflections. From the darkness, A voice whispers of a haunted mirror. If you visit that house on a moonless night and you climb to the attic, you'll find a mirror standing alone.
لبس الدوام كل يوم ستايل جديد مع فريري. ابحثي فريري على شين.
Hi, viewers. They say deep in the birch forest, under the pale glow of the moon, a bride still wanders. Her gown is tattered, her veil drifts in the wind, and if you hear her whisper behind you, don't look back, because the pale bride is already waiting. Once upon a time, a vibrant village market bursts with activity, its colors muted by an underlying tension. Knowing glances pass between villagers, hushed whispers echoing through the crowded stalls. A palpable unease hangs heavy, the distant birch grove a looming presence. An elder woman warns, her voice laced with ancient fear.
Stay away from the birchwood after sunset. The pale bride roams there.
The villagers freeze, absorbing her chilling words, their faces etched with worry. The distant birch grove seems to darken, a silent promise of the night's terrors. Under the open sky, Elias journeys towards the distant hills, his cart heavy with dreams and wares. The road stretches endlessly. Yet Elias pushes on, driven by an unseen force. With weary eyes, Elias continues his journey. Birchwood awaits, a sign of hope at the journey's end. As the sun dips below the horizon, Elias arrives at the edge of the birchwood, an eerie silence settling among the trees. Long, eerie shadows stretch from the white trunks, painting the grove with an unsettling beauty. Ignoring the warnings whispered by villagers, Elias steels himself, preparing to face the night alone. With a deep breath, Elias sets up camp, the crackling fire a fragile defense against the encroaching darkness. As the flames dance higher, Elias sits, his gaze fixed on the surrounding woods, the night's secrets yet to be revealed. Under the cloak of night, a lone campfire flickers, casting dancing shadows on the spectral birch trees. Elias is sitting motionless, the crackling fire the only sound in the still, silent air. The birch trees loom like ghostly sentinels, their white bark glowing eerily in the firelight. The fire crackles louder, mirroring the subtle shift in Elias's shadowed face. The stillness of the night deepens, broken only by the fire's whispers and Elias's silent thoughts. In the heart of Birchwood, Elias strains against the encroaching darkness, his eyes struggling to penetrate the shadows. A haunting vision materializes amidst the silver birch. Lady Serenia, the pale bride, stands frozen in the moonlight. Her gown ripples like water, adorned with dead moths. She is a specter of beauty and death. Her face, ethereally beautiful, remains unsettlingly still, like a porcelain doll untouched by life. In Birchwood, the air is crisp, the ground dusted with snow, as twilight casts a soft glow on Serenia. Elias gazes at Serenia, captivated by her beauty and a strange sense of familiarity. Serenia breaks the silence, her voice gentle.
Will you walk me home?
Elias, lost in thought, simply nods, agreeing to her unspoken request. Beneath the watchful eyes of ancient trees, Elias and Serenia venture deeper into the heart of Birchwood. The path twists endlessly onward, promising secrets and shadows with each step. The silver trunks stretch into the darkness, their silent forms guiding Elias and Serenia further. Deeper and deeper they tread, the grove's embrace growing tighter with every stride. Elias, lost in the heart of Birchwood, glances back, finding no familiar path. Only an endless sea of birch trees surrounds him, their white bark mocking his solitude. The air feels heavy, stuck, amplifying Elias's growing unease. A profound sense of isolation grips him as the unchanging woods close in. Elias turns, a hopeful expectation filled on his face. The space where Serenia stood moments before is now starkly empty. A wave of realization washes over Elias as he understands he is utterly alone. The birch trees, with their gleaming white bark, stand as silent witnesses to his solitude. The dappled sunlight filters through the leaves, casting shadows that deepen the sense of isolation. The trees offer no solace, only a cold, silent observation of Elias's despair. The serene birchwood stands undisturbed, a haven of peace.
CashNow, mobile cash loan app. Install and go.
Calling all migrant workers in the Emirates. Unlock new income opportunities with Olim Trade. Start small with just 40 dirhams. Learn trading for free and withdraw with zero fees. Build a brighter future for your family back home with Olim Trade. Download now. Olim Trade. Care that counts.
Tranquility shatters as the earth trembles violently beneath Elias's feet. A chilling realization dawns as Elias stares down, his fate sealed. His feet become rooted to the earth, binding him to the impending doom. He became unmovable. Elias's fingers contort into grotesque shapes, a shocking paleness overtaking his skin as his humanity fades. His hands morph into the coarse texture of tree limbs, as if nature itself is consuming him. The skin ruptures, and the transformation solidifies, as bark encases his body. A silent scream lodges in my throat, a futile attempt to halt the horrifying metamorphosis. Elias's transformation culminates in a haunting tableau, his human form now a silent, frozen scream encased within the bark of a birch tree. He is now one with the birchwood, indistinguishable from the other trees. The forest whispers secrets of a transformation now complete, as Elias stands eternally trapped His silent scream echoes through the woods, a permanent mark of his fate. The trees stand as silent witnesses to Elias's eternal imprisonment. Elias's final form stands rigid, a haunting reminder of the change that has befallen him. At the edge of the village, two travelers halt, their expressions fraught with unspoken anxiety as they survey the ominous birchwood. The very air seems charged with fear as the leaves rustle with ghostly secrets, whispering tales of dread. Whispers of the pale bride echo in their minds, casting long shadows over their resolve. The travelers exchange a look, a silent pact sealed between them as they steel themselves to enter the haunted wood. The travelers venture into the grove, their steps measured and wary. A new tree looms into view, its bark unnaturally pale against the vibrant green. A faint, ghostly visage of a man's screaming face seems etched into the tree's surface. A silent scream frozen in time. The travelers halt, their eyes wide with a mix of fear and curiosity. The grove seems to hold its breath, the air thick with unspoken dread. Beneath the canopy of birchwood, travelers pause, their eyes drawn to something unsettling. One traveler points, a silent signal of dread, towards the base of a new tree. A single white moth, still and vulnerable, sleeps in the shade. The travelers stare, the fragile beauty of the moth, a stark contrast to the fear it inspires. A wave of unease washes over them, an unspoken recognition of impending doom. A shiver runs down their spines, a physical manifestation of their growing dread. The birchwood grove stands in silent vigil as the setting sun casts long shadows across the land. Each tree echoes with the sorrow of the pale bride, a haunting reminder of a love tragically lost. The wind becomes a mournful sigh, carrying whispers of a woman's ethereal voice through the grove. A chorus of whispers rises, seemingly from the trees themselves, weaving a tale of love and despair. The air grows heavy with the weight of the curse, the grove a haunting place for lost souls. In the heart of birchwood, a spectral figure lurks beneath the bark of the trees. A face emerges from the depths of the wood, its silent scream echoing through the ages. The faint shadow of torment is frozen in time, a haunting reminder of a forgotten horror. The tree stands as a silent sentinel.
Hair color this luminous and even. New Cream Supreme Caring Coloration prepares, protects, and seals hair for 100% gray coverage. Get the color you desire at the care you deserve. New Schwarzkopf Cream Supreme for every you.
Forever guarding the secrets of Birchwood's dark past. The night air is heavy with the weight of unspoken stories, a chilling sign of the power of nature's silent witnesses. In the tranquil heart of Birchwood, a lone villager approaches, their face a canvas of reverence and trepidation. With delicate hands, they lay wild flowers at the ancient tree's base, a silent offering to the spirits of the woods. Sunlight dances through the leaves, casting an ethereal mosaic of light and shadow upon the sacred ground. In the hushed stillness, the villager stands, their gaze fixed on the towering birch, a silent communion with nature's majesty. The wildflowers rest at the base, a colorful tribute in the dappled sunlight, completing the serene tableau. Beneath the silent birchwood, a spectral figure emerges, her presence a chilling echo in the night. Her veil dances despite the still air, a haunting sign that lures the unwary deeper into the woods. The smile she wears is monstrous, a horrific twist that belies the sorrowful eyes beneath. Her face, a mask of decay, smiles, a mocking reminder of beauty lost and terror found. In the heart of birchwood, serenity gives way to a chilling echo as Serenia's voice pierces the silent grove. Her words hang in the air, each syllable a haunting whisper amidst the towering trees. The birch trees stand as silent witnesses, their white bark stark against the darkening woods. Serenia's voice echoes.
Will you walk me home?
The question lingers, unanswered, in the stillness of the birchwood. In birchwood, the first light of dawn filters through the dense canopy, turning the forest floor into a canvas of long, distorted shadows. The grove awakens, but its ancient mysteries remain concealed beneath the pale, silent bark of the birch trees. The shadows shift and dance, playing across the landscape, each form a whisper of the stories the trees refuse to tell. Birchwood holds its secrets close, its silence a promise of mysteries yet to be uncovered, its depths a realm of hidden wonders. In the heart of the village, a circle of children gathers, their eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fascination. An elder woman, her face a roadmap of time, sits serenely among them, her voice a vessel of ancient tales. Her voice, aged yet resonant, carries the weight of generations as she prepares to spin a yarn of long ago. The air crackles with anticipation as the elder woman begins her tale, her words painting vivid images in the minds of her young listeners.
Long ago, in this very village,
She intones, her voice weaving a spell of mystery and intrigue.
there lived a woman known only as the Pale Bride.
Night descends upon birchwood, cloaking the haunted grove in shadows. From the depths of the haunted grove, a lone wolf raises its head, its mournful howl piercing the stillness. The chilling cry echoes through the desolate landscape, a haunting lament carried on the wind. The sound echoes through the ancient trees, stirring an unsettling atmosphere. Silence returns, heavy and filled with unspoken dread, enveloping birchwood once more. Moonlight filters through the dense canopy, casting long, eerie shadows that dance like spirits among the ancient trees. The pale bride's presence lingers, an unseen force that permeates every shadow and echoes in every gust of wind. Birchwood at night becomes a stage for an eternal drama, where the line between the living and the spectral blurs with every passing moment.
لبس الدوام كل يوم ستايل جديد مع فريري. ابحثي فريري على شين.
Dear viewers, what if the toy you brought home wasn't a friend, but a curse? In a quiet town, one strange doll with sharp teeth and a twisted grin began to move on its own, and what it wanted was far darker than playtime. Once upon a time, the cobblestone streets gleam under the weak light, reflecting the town's isolation. An oppressive silence descends, broken only by the mournful groan of a distant foghorn, a haunting reminder of the town's solitude. The deserted town emanates a tangible sense of unease, as if the every stones whisper secrets best left undisturbed. A toy shop looms against the fog, its windows crowded with eerie dolls. Flickering light dances within, casting elongated shadows that stretch into the night. The dolls seem to watch, their painted eyes gleaming in the dim light. The fog swirls around the shop, covering the edges of reality. An unsettling silence blankets the scene, broken only by the occasional creak of the old building. The toy shop glows under dim lights, aisles packed tightly with dolls and figurines, their smiles too bright, their eyes too knowing. Ilara wanders deeper into the labyrinth of toys, her expression lost in thought. The shopkeeper's gaze follows her every move, his eyes betraying a hint of unease. As Ilara pauses at a shelf, the shopkeeper warns.
Be careful with the Labubu doll, miss. It's not like the others.
A Labubu doll's unsettling features fill the frame. Long ears, sharp teeth, mocking eyes. Ilara approaches, her gaze fixed on the doll, oblivious to the warnings. She reaches out, her fingers hovering over the doll's strange, unsettling face. Ilara picks up the Labubu doll, clutching it tightly. In the soft glow of her bedroom, Ilara carefully handles the Labubu doll. Ilara gently places the doll on the shelf, amidst the cozy clutter of personal items. The doll's vacant eyes and unsettling grin cast a strange shadow over the otherwise peaceful room. Soft lighting dances across the room, highlighting the clash between the doll and its surroundings. The cozy atmosphere struggles against the subtle tension radiating from the unsettling doll. Ilara's bedroom, usually a sanctuary of peace, now carries an undercurrent of unease. In the quiet of night, Ilara sleeps peacefully, undisturbed by the world around her. A faint, unsettling scratching sound pierces the silence, hinting at unseen activity. Tiny footsteps follow, a subtle intrusion into the stillness of the room. Ilara stirs, momentarily pulled from her slumber, yet dismisses the disturbance as mere fancy and drifts back to sleep. In the dead of night, Ilara is sitting upright in her bed, sheets clutched tightly to her chest. The room is cast in shadows, but a faint, eerie glow emanates from the shelf where the doll used to sit. Ilara's eyes dart to the foot of her bed, where a silent horror awaits. The doll sits motionless, its glassy eyes burning into Ilara with unnatural intensity. A grotesque parody of a smile stretches across the doll's stitched mouth, a silent promise of terror. Ilara is frozen in fear, trapped in the nightmarish gaze of the doll. Next morning, light streams into Ilara's room, casting a stark glow on the scene. Her parents stand at the foot of her bed, their faces a canvas of worry as they observe Ilara. Faint bite marks on Ilara's hands, silent evidence of a hidden terror. Ilara avoids their concerned gaze, neglecting their looks with sensitive fear. Across the room, a Labubu doll sits innocently, its vacant eyes adding to the unsettling atmosphere. Ilara remains silent. Her fear stays heavy in the air. In the dead of night, a silent guardian stands watch at the window, its breath clouding the glass. Ilara lies paralyzed in her bed, her eyes wide with terror, watching the doll. The doll's breath becomes more visible, the window now a canvas of frosted dread. Ilara trembles, her gaze fixed on the doll, a silent scream trapped in her throat. The room is still, save for Ilara's shallow breaths and the doll's spectral exhalations. In the dimness of her room, Ilara finds no solace as moonlight paints eerie shadows that seem to mock her unease. The doll's porcelain face gleams with a sinister life of its own, its eyes now locked onto Ilara with unnerving intensity. Each shadow seems to writhe. Each creak of the house echoes Ilara's rising fear. The doll looms ever closer, its presence growing. In the dead of night, a doll rests ominously on Ilara's pillow, its presence casting a chilling spell over the room. The air around the doll shimmers with frost, an icy caress against Ilara's skin. A chilling breath brushes against Ilara's cheek, an icy touch that heralds impending terror. Ilara's scream, a desperate cry against the encroaching dread, is swallowed by the oppressive silence, leaving her trapped in a nightmare. In the dim light of her room, Ilara hunches over ancient texts, her fingers tracing faded ink. A growing unease creeps into Ilara's heart as she delves into the town's forgotten legends. The truth surfaces. The Labubu doll is not merely a toy, but a vessel for a mischievous demon spirit. Ilara's eyes widen in realization as the dark secrets hidden within the town's history come to light. In the dead of night, Ilara's desperate gaze focuses intensely on the doll. Ilara, while realizing the situation, tried to burn the doll. Flames consume it, yet instead of burning, it responds with an eerie, high-pitched giggle. The chilling sound exudes through the house, amplifying the sense of dread. Ilara stares in disbelief as the doll resists the flames, its eerie laughter mocking her efforts. The atmosphere in Ilara's bedroom thickens with an almost unbearable tension as the doll's laughter becomes more pronounced. Under the cloak of night, Ilara kneels in the damp garden, a chilling task ahead. Next step, she grabbed the doll and took it to the garden. She presses the doll into the cold earth, a silent ritual unfolding beneath the oppressive sky. The doll disappears into the dark soil, swallowed by the night's heavy embrace. The garden remains still, concealing its secret as the oppressive atmosphere lingers. The silence of Ilara's bedroom is shattered by the intrusion of dirt-stained footprints, a dark omen leading to her room. The trail of dirt ends at the foot of Ilara's bed, where a sinister presence awaits. Perched ominously on the bed sits a doll, its wide grin a grotesque mockery of innocence. Its eyes seem to follow every move, promising a night filled with dread and unanswered questions. The unsettling grin of the doll hints at deeper terrors lurking just beneath the surface of Elara's innocent world. In the dim light of her bedroom, Elara lies weakened, her eyes reflecting deep fear. The doll sits silently, its presence a growing shadow in Elara's fading world. Elara's breath hitches, a shallow, desperate gasp in the quiet room. Her gaze remains fixed on the doll, a silent plea trapped in her weakening eyes. The doll seems to watch back, an unreadable expression on its porcelain face. In the dead of night, a doll rests silently on the bed, its presence unnerving. A disturbing transformation begins as the doll's eyes flicker with life. The grin on its face twists into something more sinister. The doll's gaze intensifies, promising mischief. A silent threat looms, the room thick with unspoken terror. In the dim solitude of her room, Elara finds herself cornered by an unsettling presence. The doll sits silently on the bed, its gleaming eyes piercing the shadows, her voice trembling. Elara pleads into the oppressive silence. Please, just leave me alone. The doll remains motionless, its silence amplifying Elara's growing dread. Shadows stretch and dance, intensifying the feeling of isolation and fear. Elara's desperate plea hangs in the air, unanswered and heavy with fear. Elara's screams pierce the night, shattering the stillness. The piercing sound tears through the walls, jolting the neighbors awake. Footsteps echo urgently through the hallway, growing louder. The neighbors converge on Elara's room, drawn by the frantic cries. The hallway fills with a chorus of worried voices, a symphony of mounting concern. Elara's bed sits empty. They can't find her, a silent sign to her sudden absence. The open window whispers of escape, its curtains dancing in the wind. In the heart of the room, a doll watches with an unsettling smile. Fresh stains the doll's grin, a chilling echo of innocence lost. Dawn breaks over the coastal town, but a thick fog suffocates any hint of warmth. As silence amplifies the growing dread, the fog rolls through empty streets, covering every corner with an unsettling stillness. An oppressive silence descends, broken only by the distant cry of a seabird, heightening the desolate atmosphere. The town is a ghost of itself, lost in a spectral haze where the only certainty is the creeping sense of despair. Under the veil of night, the toy shop glows with a nostalgic warmth, a sign of childhood dreams. Inside, the shopkeeper stands silently, his weary face reflecting years of stories untold. A child gazes longingly at the Labubu doll, its vibrant colors promising joy, yet hinting at a deeper, hidden tale. The shopkeeper watches, knowing the cycle of desire and fleeting happiness is about to begin anew. Moonlight spills into the abandoned house, illuminating dust motes dancing in the silence. Cobwebs cling to the decaying walls, whispering tales of forgotten times. In the heart of the desolation, a lone Labubu doll sits, its gaze unnervingly fixed. Its wide eyes pierce the gloom, silently awaiting the arrival of the next unsuspecting soul. The air is thick with anticipation, as if the house itself holds its breath, waiting, waiting for the next curious child to stumble into its silent embrace. A Labubu doll stands silently, watching. Its vacant eyes seem to pierce the veil of night. The scratching grows louder, closer. The scratching intensifies. The Labubu doll remains, an unmoving watcher in the encroaching dread. A coastal town covered in thick fog, its cobblestone streets slick with moisture, buildings veiled in mystery. Among the blurred buildings, a toy shop emerges, its window a cluttered display of countless dolls. Amidst the dolls, a Labubu doll hides, almost unseen. Its eyes gleam subtly, catching the scarce light, hinting at an uncanny presence. The fog thickens, deepening the town's mystery and the doll's mysterious attraction.
It was a humid summer night in Karachi, and the clock had just struck midnight when Irfan, an old taxi driver, pulled up to a roadside tea stall to sip on his last cup of chai before heading home. He was tired. Business had been slow all day, and he was thinking of ending his shift. Just as he started the engine, a man in white clothes appeared out of the shadows and knocked on his window. "Airport," the man said quietly, his voice calm but strange too calm. Irfan looked at him. The man was tall, with a long white scarf draped around his shoulders and eyes that were dark and deep. Something about him was off, but Irfan shrugged it off and unlocked the back door. "Bismillah," he whispered to himself and started driving. The streets were unusually empty, not a single car or rickshaw in sight. Irfan tried to make small talk. "Flight at this hour?" he asked. No reply. He looked into the rear-view mirror, but the back seat was empty. His heart stopped. He slammed on the brakes and looked behind. The man was there, sitting calmly, smiling now. "I just saw." There was no one. The man leaned forward and whispered, "Keep driving." Irfan's hands trembled as he gripped the steering wheel, but he obeyed. The road to the airport seemed endless. He drove and drove, but the signs no longer made sense. He passed the same billboard 3 times. The city lights behind him faded, and fog began to surround the taxi. "This isn't the way to the airport," Irfan finally said, his voice shaking. The man leaned in closer and said, "I don't need a flight. I need a soul." Irfan hit the brakes. The car skidded and stopped in the middle of an open field. He jumped out, breathless, and turned to look at the back seat, but the taxi was empty. The man was gone. He dropped to his knees and began reading Ayatul Kursi loudly, again and again. Morning light slowly broke the darkness. Villagers passing by saw Irfan sitting beside his taxi, his hair turned almost white overnight. He couldn't speak for 3 days. When he finally did, he told the local imam everything. The imam nodded gravely. "You picked up a jinn," he said. "Some roam at night, looking for weak hearts to possess. But your prayers saved you." Since that night, Irfan never drove past sunset again. And every time he passed that tea stall, he made sure to recite Ayatul Kursi. And in Karachi, some drivers still warn the young ones, "If a man in white waves you down at midnight, drive away. Not all passengers are human."
Dear viewers, today's story is going to be a scariest creation of mine, so stay tuned till the end. In a small town, they say the rooftops belong to the unseen after night prayers. A young girl, Sana, used to live with her parents in one of the houses of that town. Every night, Sana would sneak to the rooftop to watch the stars. But one night, something else was watching her. A jinn. What started as innocent stargazing soon turned into a horrifying possession. Under a vast, star-strewn sky, Sana, a bright-eyed 12-year-old, steps tentatively onto the rooftop. Her small figure is outlined against the celestial canvas, a tiny figure among the infinite wonder. She lifts her gaze, her eyes widening, as she blinks in the breathtaking view of the night sky. Each star seems to ignite a spark of curiosity and awe within her. Lost in the immensity of the cosmos, a peaceful smile blossoms on her face. In the soft glow of Sana's bedroom, her parents tenderly tuck her into bed, their movements gentle and filled with care. Her eyes closed as her parents watch over her with a shared tenderness. A silent exchange passes between Sana's parents, their eyes meeting with a shared worry. The unspoken concern stays heavy in the air, a silent acknowledgement of Sana's dangerous fascination with the rooftop. The soft light casts long shadows as Sana's mother gently strokes her hair, a silent plea for her safety. Next night, she again found herself on rooftop. She sits perched near the edge, her shadow stark against the starlit sky. A gentle breeze dances around her, carrying the distant whispers of the city's hidden stories. Her gaze is lost in the infinite area above, each star a distant sun, each constellation a forgotten myth. A profound connection stirs within her, as if the twinkling lights are reflections of her deepest thoughts. She is one with the universe, suspended between the earthly and the ethereal, lost in thoughts. Morning light paints long shadows across the living room, where Sana's parents sit, a visible tension simmering between them. Worry etches lines on their faces as they grapple with unspoken fears. The silence in the room is heavy, each breath a sign of their growing unease. The mother's gaze hardens with resolve, her words laced with concern.
Sana needs to understand the dangers of the night.
A deep line forms on the father's brow, a silent acknowledgement of the perilous world Sana is about to face. Next night, on the rooftop, the air feels heavy, thick, with an unnatural, unsettling stillness. Sana's senses sharpen, detecting the threat of quiet that blankets the night. From behind a rusted water tank, a shadowy figure slowly ascends, its presence a looming threat. An eerie crimson glow pierces the darkness, emanating from the figure's burning eyes. The night holds its breath as the figure stands against the dark sky, a sign of unknown danger. A chilling breeze whips across the rooftop, carrying the scent of rain and distant sirens. Sana stands in the glittering of city lights, her form tense at night. A voice, cold and penetrating, shatters the silence.
Sana, I've been watching you.
The word stays heavy in the air, each word a chilling warning. Sana freezes, the city lights blurring as fear grips her heart in its icy hold. In the dim solitude of her bedroom, Sana sits on her bed. She feels sad and lonely. Her shoulders slump with the weight of unspoken burdens. Her form still and heavy. Her eyes are distant, lost in a point only she can see, reflecting an inner world of turmoil. A whisper escapes her lips, a soft murmur in an unknown language, adding to the haunting mystery. Next morning in the formal dining room, a long mahogany table stretches, reflecting the morning light. Sana sits rigidly, her back turned to her family, an island of silence at the table. Her plate remains untouched. Her mother's gentle gaze rests upon Sana, a silent plea in her eyes as she says,
Sana, please eat something. You haven't touched your breakfast.
Sana remains silent. Her rejection stays heavy in the air. Again, night falls, and Sana finds herself under the vast night sky. She sits alone on the rooftop, her gaze lost in the infinite area above. An unsettling stillness surrounds her, broken only by the whisper of the wind. Time stretches into an eternity as she remains motionless, absorbed in her thoughts. Hours pass, marked only by the subtle shift of stars overhead. Her parents find her, their faces etched with worry as they approach her silent figure against the night. Next morning, when sunlight floods Sana's bedroom, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air, the mother stands at the foot of Sana's bed, her face etched with a mixture of concern and apprehension. Deep scratches marks on Sana's arms, a silent scream etched onto her skin. The mother's brow furrows, her voice laced with worry as she asks,
Sana, what happened?
Sana's eyes dart away, a veil of denial falling over her face as she replies,
I do not know what you are talking about.
Inside the dimly lit living room, Sana's father, his face a canvas of terror, clasps his trembling hands. He pleads with the local Malvi Sahib, his eyes wide with desperation. His voice cracks with fear as he begs,
Please, you must help my daughter.
The Malvi listens intently, his expression unreadable in the soft light. The Malvi Sahib steps hesitantly into Sana's bedroom, the air thick with unspoken tension. Flickering lights cast elongated, spectral shadows that dance ominously across the walls. Sana sits on the edge of the bed, her form still, her presence radiating an unsettling calm. A haunting melody drifts from her lips, each note weaving a spell of eerie enchantment. Her dark hair falls like a curtain, concealing her face and shrouding her in mystery. The room holds its breath, a silent tableau of dread unfolding in the dim light. In Sana's bedroom, the Molvi's voice rebounds, reciting Surah al-Baqarah, each word a stark presence. Without warning, Sana's body twists violently, an unearthly tortuousness against the sacred words. A blood-curdling scream erupts from Sana, shattering the recitation's solemnity, a raw cry of anguish. Her voice, distorted and inhuman, pierces the room.
Stop. She is mine.
The Malvi's voice echoes, his recitation growing more fervent, filling Sana's bedroom with a palpable tension. Sana writhes, her body twisting into unnatural, horrifying shapes as the unseen force takes hold. A sinister crimson glow begins to emanate from Sana's eyes, a sign of the jinn's growing power. The air crackles with unseen energy. As Sana's struggle intensifies, her former battleground for the spiritual conflict, the malevolent red light blazes, a terrifying display of the jinn's complete dominance over Sana. Dim light barely penetrates Sana's bedroom, casting long, eerie shadows that writhe across the walls. An unseen jinn's presence fills the room, heavy and suffocating, pressing down like a tangible darkness. The air grows thick with unspoken menace, the silence amplifying the feeling of dread. A chilling voice echoes through the room, laced with possessive rage. Jin's words slice through the shadows, claiming ownership of Sana.
She came to me, night after night. She belongs to me.
In the confines of her bedroom, Sana writhes against the sheets, her body contorting in unnatural defiance. The Malvi circles her, a solemn figure wielding the sacred Zamzam water, each flick a desperate attempt to quell the unseen force. The air vibrates with the raw intensity of Sana's screams, each echoing cry a sign of her torment. Her voice pierces the silence, carrying notes of pain and terror that seem to shake the very foundations of the room. The Zamzam water glistens as it falls, anointing Sana in a ritualistic battle against the darkness consuming her. The small room becomes a battleground, her arched back a symbol of resistance against the unseen forces. Her mother's silent sobs shake her frame, a storm of grief. Her body trembles, a sign of unspoken sorrow. Sana's father embraces her, a fortress of support against the encroaching darkness. His lips move in a hushed prayer, a silent plea rising from the depths of his soul. In the dim silence of Sana's bedroom, an unnatural shadow erupts from her. The shadowy mass crashes against the wall, a fleeting specter of black smoke against the pale surface. Sana collapses onto the floor of her bedroom, her body finally released from an unseen torment. Her parents, faces etched with worry, rush to her side, their movements frantic with concern. Relief washes over their faces as they cradle Sana, the tension slowly seeping from their bodies. Next morning, Sana awakens in her bedroom, her eyes now clear but shadowed by lingering fear. A chilling realization dawns as she struggles to grasp at fragmented memories.
I remember nothing, only feeling cold and afraid.
The morning light streams into the room, contrasting sharply with the darkness of her lost memories. She sits up, the weight of the unknown pressing heavily upon her. Sunlight floods the living room, illuminating the tense atmosphere as the Malvi Sahib stands before the family. His stern gaze sweeps over them, a sign of impending restrictions.
Keep her away from the rooftop. Recite Surah Al-Baqarah regularly.
The Malvi Sahib commands, his voice resonating with solemn authority, his words heavy with unspoken warnings. In the dimness of her bedroom, Sana lies restless, her eyes wide open in the darkness. A subtle anxiety etches her features as sleep eludes her, replaced by a growing unease. Her gaze drifts towards the rooftop door. A silent question stays in the air. With each beat of her heart, the anticipation heightens. Room was filled with tension. In the vibrant living room, Sana's laughter begins to fill the air once more, a melody of recovery as she's engrossed in her toys. The colorful rug becomes her stage, a canvas for innocent joy as she plays, each giggle a brushstroke of healing. Seated on the nearby sofa, her parents watch, their tender smiles mirroring a deep, heartfelt gratitude. Their eyes, pools of relief and love, reflect the preciousness of her return to health, a silent symphony of emotions. Each toy she touches, each game she plays, is a sign of their enduring hope and the vibrant life blossoming anew before them. Under the cloak of night, Sana halts at the foot of the rooftop stairs, her ascent stalled with dread. Her face, stark in the dim light, is a canvas of fear, each line deepened by unseen horrors. A whisper, almost unnoticeable, seems to echo in her mind, fueling her terror. She trembles, caught between the safety of the stairs and the unknown terrors lurking above. Under the cloak of night, a gentle breeze stirs through the silent street. The wind carries a faint, ethereal whisper, barely audible. A name echoes softly on the night air.
Sana?
the whisper fades, leaving only the quiet rustle of leaves and the mystery of the night.
Midnight beckoned. She opened the door, drawn by the running water. What she found behind that door wasn't just a reflection. It was the end of her reality. Here begins our story, which turns into a scary one. Heavy rain blurs the deserted highway, transforming the world into a canvas of streaks and shadows. Through the downpour, Clara's dark sedan emerges, pulling off the road as a sign of temporary refuge. Headlights pierce the gloom, momentarily illuminating the slick, rain-soaked road. In the distance, the neon sign of the Silver Pines Motel flickers with an unsettling rhythm. The word vacancy blinks in threatening way, promising shelter among the storm's harsh fury. An eerie glow bathes the scene, hinting at secrets hidden within the motel's walls. Clara pushes open the door, stepping into the Silver Pines Motel, where dim light barely penetrates the gloom. The air hangs heavy, a stinky sweet mix of cheap air freshener struggling to mask the scent of damp carpet. Behind the worn wooden counter, an elderly man sits in a faded green clothes, his presence adding to the desolate atmosphere. His aged eyes, sharp and unsettling, fix intently on Clara, a silent assessment passing between them. The weight of his gaze lingers, promising more than meets the eye in this forgotten place. With a sigh, he slides a key across the ancient wood, the only sound breaking the silence. His eyes barely meet yours as he continues. He says, his voice flat with exhaustion. Only one room left. Room 309, top floor. The key rests on the counter. A silent invitation to the lonely room above. Clara stands at the reception desk, forcing a nervous smile as she anticipates the day ahead. The receptionist leans in, her voice a low warning. Ma'am, a word of advice. Don't open the bathroom door after midnight. Just don't. Clara laughs nervously, but the receptionist's words linger, casting a shadow of unease. A chill runs down Clara's spine as she wonders about the secrets hidden within the office walls. Room 309 breathes with a quiet unease, the silence heavy and expectant. Yellowed wallpaper peels away from the walls, revealing the shadowed history of the room. The air hangs thick with the scent of mildew, a ghostly reminder of time and decay. Clara's entrance breaks the stillness, her footsteps echoing softly in the desolate space. With a weary sigh, Clara lets her bag fall onto the bed, the sound abruptly cutting through the silence. The room seems to watch her, its secrets stirring beneath the surface of peeling paint and musty air. In the dimly lit bathroom, Clara meticulously brushes her teeth, her movements precise in the eerie quiet. The mirror is strangely fogged, a silent, abnormally hinting at unseen mysteries. A faint, persistent dripping sound echoes, breaking the silence and heightening the unease. Clara pauses, her eyes narrowing as she stares at her reflection, sensing she is not alone. Inside the cold, sterile bathroom of room 309, silence hangs heavy. Clara opened the shower curtain with tremble hands, a dread-filled anticipation in her eyes. With a sudden, sharp movement, she pulls it back, revealing an empty, echoing space. Nothing is there, only the lingering chill and the glint of porcelain. The last drop of water falls, and the dripping abruptly stops, amplifying the silence. Clara sleeps soundly, unaware of the passage of time in the quiet room. The digital clock abruptly flips to 12. 3 amperes. M. A sign of the stillness of night. Clara startles awake, her eyes widening as she hears the distinct sound of running water. An ethereal light spills from beneath the bathroom door, casting eerie shadows that dance across the room. Clara awakens abruptly, her eyes wide with terror. The old man's chilling warning echoes in the silence of the room. Her body tenses, every muscle coiled tight against the unseen threat. A cold dread washes over her as she listens intently. A distinct, wet footstep breaks the silence, its sound magnified in the stillness, The ominous sound emanates from within the tiled confines of the bathroom. In the stillness of room 309, the faint hum of the city barely penetrates the heavy silence. An invisible tension fills the air, thick with unspoken dread. Footsteps echo softly, then cease abruptly just behind the bathroom door. A moment hangs suspended, heavy with anticipation, as if an unseen presence holds its breath. The silence stretches, amplifying the sense of unease and impending doom. A voice whispers from the shadows, sealing fate.
It's your turn.
In the dead of night, Clara bolts upright in bed, her eyes wide with sudden terror. Driven by an unseen urgency, she leaps from the covers, her bare feet hitting the cold floor. She races towards the door, her heart pounding in her chest like a frantic drum. Desperation fuels her as she grabs the handle, yanking it with all her might. The door remains stubbornly shut, unyielding to her frantic efforts. Frustration and fear contort her face as she realizes the door is jammed, trapping her inside. Clara, in a desperate burst, throws the door of room 309 open, the sound echoing in the night. She stumbles out into the stark hallway, her movements betraying a frantic energy. The harsh fluorescent lights of the hallway illuminate her messy appearance. Each breath she takes is heavy and ragged, filling the silent space. Her eyes dart around, scanning the empty hallway with a mixture of fear and determination. The open doorway of room 309 looms behind her, a silent witness to whatever has happened within. The motel corridor extends into the inky blackness, the only light source coming from weak, flickering bulbs. Identical doors stand in silent rows, each one a portal to unknown stories within. The darkness seems to deepen around the edges, swallowing the already dim light. Each door bears the same ominous number, room 309. A chilling sameness passed through the scene, enhancing the unsettling quiet of the night. Clara whirls around, the Silver Pines motel corridor twisting into an impossible, endless stretch. The hallway extends into infinity, the fluorescent lights casting an eerie glow on the doors lining either side. An unsettling drip, drip, drip sound begins, each drop echoing from behind the motel doors. The sound grows louder, a chorus of dripping water amplifying the growing dread. In the inky blackness of the motel corridor, Clara fumbles with her phone, a desperate attempt to pierce the shadows. The flashlight sputters, a fleeting glimmer of hope extinguished as it plunges her into absolute darkness. A chorus of whispers rises from the depths, weaving through the oppressive silence, a symphony of unseen horrors.
Don't open the door. It never ends. Join us. They hiss, their voices slithering around her.
In the dead of night, Clara stumbles along the deserted corridor of the Silver Pines motel, each step echoing her desperation. A sign of light spills from a bathroom at the corridor's end, a stark contrast to the oppressive shadows. The harsh sound of splashing water intensifies, a rackety noise symphony in the still night, drawing Clara closer. Her shadow flickers in the dim light, her movements unsteady, a figure haunted by unseen forces. Each breath is labored, each step a struggle, as she closes in on the illuminated doorway. The promise of answers, or perhaps a new terror, lies just beyond the bathroom door, the suspense building with every drop of water. Clara pushes open the bathroom door, the harsh light within casting long shadows. She stops abruptly, her breath catching in her throat. A silent tableau unfolds before her. The air hangs heavy with unspoken dread. Her eyes widen, reflecting the horror of the scene. Room 309's bathroom mirrors her own in every haunting detail. A suffocating sense of déjà vu. An identical bag sits innocuously on the floor, a silent echo of her recent journey. The bed, neatly made, offers no comfort, only a chilling reminder of her double. Even the flickering lamp mimics the one she knows, casting eerie shadows that dance with the unsettling truth. Inside room 309, the bathroom light casts a stark glow. The camera pans across the dimly lit room, focusing on the bed. A figure lies still. Another Clara, her skin pale against the dark sheets. Her eyes are wide, unseeing, reflecting the cold light above. The motionless form hints at a silent, chilling narrative. The harsh, fluorescent lights of the bathroom are abruptly extinguished, casting the room into impenetrable darkness. Silence descends, broken only by the rhythmic, haunting drip of the faucet. A cold, breathy whisper brushes against her ear, sending a shiver down her spine. The unseen voice slithers into her mind, a chilling invitation to the unknown. Welcome to room 309, the whisper breathes, sealing her fate within the darkened space. The darkness seems to deepen, pressing in on all sides as the room holds its breath, awaiting what comes next. At the Silver Pines Motel, rain relentlessly streaks the windows, blurring the world outside. Inside the reception, the motel owner meticulously polishes the countertop, his movements measured and slow. Each deliberate motion reflects a practiced routine against the backdrop of the dreary morning. The bell jingles, announcing the arrival of a weary traveler seeking shelter from the unyielding drizzle. He steps inside, shaking off the persistent rain, a brief respite from the storm. In an anonymous, echoing space, a lone traveler approaches a stark reception desk with a direct, questioning gaze. His voice cuts through the stillness. "Do you have a room?" he asks, the question hanging in the air, heavy with unspoken needs. The camera focuses on the empty space behind the reception desk, heightening the suspense as the answer remains unseen. Bathed in the soft glow of the computer screen, a weary receptionist stands guard behind the front desk. He approaches, his face a roadmap of wrinkles etched with anticipation. The receptionist's voice is tinged with fatigue as he announces. His eyes light up, a flicker of hope igniting within them. Only one left. Room 309. He leans forward, eager to receive the key that promises a night of rest. The anticipation is palpable as he reaches for the key, his weathered hands trembling slightly. Morning light bathes the Silver Pines Motel reception, casting long shadows that hint at secrets hidden in plain sight. Behind the desk, a key rack sways gently, its 309 tags whispering untold stories with each subtle movement. Each tag dances in unison, a silent symphony of comings and goings, of lives intersecting and diverging under the motel's watchful gaze. The soft rattle of keys echoes in the otherwise still morning air, a subtle reminder of the constant flux of human existence. Under the cover of night, the Silver Pines Motel looms, a beacon of flickering hope against the backdrop of a deserted highway. The vacancy sign sputters and struggles in the relentless rain, casting distorted shadows that dance with unease. Each flicker paints the motel in a fresh layer of eerie light, heightening the sense of isolation and anxiety. The deserted highway glistens, reflecting the motel's troubled glow, a silent testament to forgotten travelers and untold stories.
Dear viewers, have you ever heard of a house that breathes even when no one lives inside? The Greywick House has been abandoned for decades, yet every night a window lights up, a lullaby plays, and a little girl's voice calls from the attic, begging someone to set her free. 3 friends walked into that house to prove the legends were fake. Here, the story begins. Once upon a time, rain lashes heavily down on Blackwood's empty square, reflecting the dim glow of streetlights in mournful puddles. An old, weathered sign creaks ominously. Welcome to Blackwood, population 312. The deserted town square, drenched and silent, breathes an air of bleak abandonment and dreadful. Each raindrop seems to amplify the solitude, turning the square into a stage for unseen dramas. Greywick House looms, a dark shadow against the stormy sky. The rusted gate stands ajar, an ominous invitation. Faint, ghostly lights flicker in the attic windows, promising secrets within the decaying mansion. Armed with flashlights and a camera, Mira, Zane, and Aiden cautiously approach the haunted estate. Hesitation hangs heavy in the air as they step across the threshold, ready to confront the unknown. Inside Greywick House, the foyer greets them with the heavy scent of damp wood and metallic tang. Cobwebs drape like macabre decorations, whispering tales of neglect and forgotten secrets. Family portraits line the walls, their faces faded, eyes scratched out in a silent scream. An unsettling stillness hangs in the air, promising mysteries and lurking shadows. Dust motes swirl in the flashlight beams, illuminating the Greywick living room's silent chaos. Overturned furniture hints at a hasty retreat, a story full of disorders and shadows. Untouched breakfast plates sit lonely on the table, a lingering sign of interrupted lives. The scene whispers of a sudden departure, leaving behind an eerie stillness in its wake. In Eleanor's room, Mira finds a dusty music box, its carvings intricate yet faded by time. She winds the box, and a soft, haunting lullaby begins to fill the silent, darkened room. The melody hangs in the air, fragile and sweet, a forgotten echo of a distant past. Suddenly, the lullaby stops, leaving Mira in an unsettling silence. In Eleanor's dimly lit room, Aiden kneels, finding a hidden diary beneath the bed, its secrets full of dust and shadow. His fingers trace the diary's worn edges, revealing pages filled with childlike handwriting. A window into a haunted past. Shadows dance on the walls as Aiden starts to read, a chilling glimpse into a child's fear. Aiden reads, his voice barely a whisper.
Mama says the voices aren't real, but they talk to me. Tonight, they said they're coming for us.
Footsteps echo through the silent Greywick house, each slow, heavy step amplifying the dread. Nervous glances flicker between the friends, unspoken fears reflecting in their eyes. Flashlights cut through the darkness, their beams swallowed by the shadows shrouding the staircase. An oppressive silence descends, broken only by the ominous creaks of the old house. The Greywick hallway stretches into darkness, faint moonlight struggling against grime and decay. Dust hangs heavy. An unseen presence fills the air, thick with the scent of forgotten time. The walls whisper secrets, faint breaths and humming filling the suffocating silence. A chorus of unseen voices presses in, the source of the sound elusive, unnervingly close. In the hallway, Zane's flashlight beam illuminates an ornate mirror, revealing his somber reflection. His reflection smiles, a stark contrast to Zane's unease. The reflection raises a hand, and words begin to appear, scrawled in fog on the cold glass. A chilling message emerges. She's awake. The attic staircase groans ominously under their weight, each step a struggle against the silence. Dust motes dance in the air, illuminated by the dim light filtering from below. The girl's voice echoes from above, moving them into the unknown darkness of the attic. At the hallway's end, the attic door looms, a barrier concealing a haunting melody. The singing, ethereal and chilling, emanates from behind the aged wood. Drawn by the mysterious sound, Mira's hand slowly extends towards the cold doorknob. A sense of unease fills in the air as she prepares to enter the threshold. The melody grows slightly louder, as if beckoning her closer to the unknown. Her fingers brush against the metal, a silent question lingering in the dimly lit hall. The eerie singing stops as Mira reaches for the cold, metal knob of the attic door, her hand trembling slightly. A heavy, unnerving silence descends, broken only by the frantic beating of her own heart. Suddenly, a deafening bang, bang, bang echoes from beyond the aged wooden barrier. The door rattles violently as an inhuman force pounds against it, desperate to break free. A chilling voice pierces through the wood.
Let me out!
The lights flicker, casting long, dancing shadows that stretch and twist before darkness consumes the hallway. A collective scream pierces the silence as the friends are plunged into absolute, suffocating darkness. Whispers creeps from the shadows, weaving through the darkness, a chilling symphony of unseen voices. A low, persistent hum vibrates through their chests, a sense of dread settling in. Unseen objects bang and clatter, punctuating the terror with clashing, unpredictable sounds. High-pitched laughter echoes from the depths of the house, a chilling reminder they are not alone. Dawn breaks over Greywick House, its looming outlined shadow casting long, eerie shadows across the dew-kissed lawn. Only Zane emerges barefoot, his eyes wide and unfocused, lost in a silent world. His hair, now grey, frames a face etched with unspeakable horror, a sign of the night's terrors. He wanders aimlessly, muttering incoherently, a broken echo in the otherwise silent morning. In Blackwood Town Square, villagers gather, their faces a mix of concern and curiosity. Zane stands rigid, lost in his own world, his eyes wide and unfocused, unresponsive to the crowd. Tension increases as the villagers murmur, their worries intensifying. Zane finally speaks, his voice distant and strained.
She wasn't locked inside.
His words cut through the murmurs, revealing a darker truth.
She was keeping something else from getting out.
In a flickering candlelight, young Eleanor Greywick sketches, her brow furrowed with worry in the old house. Long shadows dance on the walls, exaggerating every creak as she clutches a charcoal pencil tightly. Her eyes dart nervously, reflecting the eerie light and the weight of unspoken fears. Mother's voice echoes, a hollow comfort in the gloom.
There are no monsters, Eleanor. It's just your imagination.
In the Greywick House living room, a mahogany table gleams faintly under a dim chandelier. The Greywick family sits in apprehensive silence, their faces lined with unspoken fears. Eleanor, the matriarch, stares intensely at the inky blackness beyond the tall windows. Her eyes reflect a deep, unsettling fear, hinting a hidden tears. The air in the room is heavy, thick with a palpable, suffocating tension. Each member is trapped in dread as the darkness seems to creep closer. In the Greywick House hallway, young Eleanor sprints, her small feet echoing on the aged wooden floor. Shadowed figures emerge, their forms blurry, unforgivingly pursuing the escaping child. Her breath hitches, ragged gasps escaping her lips as terror fuels her desperate flight. She glances back, her eyes wide with fear, the looming darkness closing in. Eleanor cries out, her voice a desperate plea swallowed by the house's silence.
Mama, Papa.
The ominous figures gain, their silent threat amplifying the hallway's chilling atmosphere. In the Greywick House attic, dust-filled light reveals Eleanor, eyes wide with raw terror, trapped and trembling. Shadowy figures encircle her, their forms indistinct in the dim light of the old attic. Clutching her arms, she cries out, her voice cracking with fear.
Help me! Please, someone, help me!
Her desperate plea stays in the air, unanswered in the silent, dusty area. Terror grips her as the unseen presence tightens its hold, shadows deepening around her. The scene fades to black, leaving only the echo of her plea and the chilling mystery of the attic. Under the cloak of night, Greywick House looms a dark shadow against the sky, silent and lonely. Footsteps echo as a lone figure hurries along the sidewalk, their pace quickening past the darkened Greywick House. Faint laughter drifts from the attic windows, a ghostly chorus that suddenly shifts into soft, heart-wrenching cries. The passerby, head bowed, quickens their steps, eager to escape the unsettling sounds emanating from the old house. Deep in the Greywick House attic, shadows dance in the dim light, clinging to forgotten relics and whispering secrets. A solitary rocking horse stands motionless, its painted eyes staring blankly ahead in the silence. Eerily, the rocking horse begins to sway gently back and forth, its movement growing more frantic, as if ridden by a ghostly child. An unsettling quiet descends as the horse slows, its rocking gradually ceasing. A long, silent hallway in Greywick House, aged wallpaper whispering forgotten stories in the dim light. A flicker of movement, a shadow, detaches itself from the wall, small and disturbingly familiar. The shadow takes shape. A little girl, her form slight and momentarily against the aged paper. The ghostly figure darts around the corner, a fleeting glimpse into the haunted past. Silence descends once more as the shadow vanishes, leaving only the cold, empty hallway behind. An unsettling stillness sensed in the air, a chilling reminder of the unseen presence within Greywick House. A cold wind whispers through the ancient trees surrounding Greywick House, its branches clawing at the night sky. Moonlight casts long, eerie shadows that dance and twist across the weathered stone facade. A chilling whisper echoes from within the house, barely audible above the wind. The voice, like a fragile echo, comes from the darkness. Come play with me. The camera slowly pans up to Greywick House, focusing on the attic window, where a faint silhouette of a little girl appears. She stands motionless, an ethereal figure watching something unseen, a silent guardian of the house's secrets. The lights flicker erratically, casting eerie shadows that dance across the house's aged facade. Darkness descends as the house falls silent, its mysteries forever entombed within its walls. Dear viewers, some toys are made to play with, and some are made to take your place. Today's story is also going to be unfolded in this way. Once upon a time, there was a little girl living with her parents in a small town. It was Lily's 7th birthday unfolds at her festively decorated suburban home, a vibrant scene of joy and laughter. Colorful balloons dance in the breeze, marking a day of celebration and youthful exuberance. Children's laughter echoes through the yard as they dive into playful party games. Lily beams, her face radiant with pure happiness, surrounded by her cherished friends and family. A perfect birthday moment, framed by love, laughter, and the simple joys of childhood. Sunlight floods the living room as Lily tears through wrapping paper, each gift sparking unrestrained glee and youthful energy. Her fingers halt on a box wrapped in faded floral paper, different from the vibrant chaos around her. She unveils delicate lace, revealing a porcelain doll with painted eyes that gleam with unreal life. A note rests beneath the doll. It reads, For my dearest Lily from Grandma. A touching message echoing through the sunlit room. Lily's intense gaze locks onto the doll's face. The doll's glassy eyes shimmer with an unnerving awareness. Its painted lips curve into a disturbingly soft smile. A faint warmth emanates from the doll's porcelain skin. It is unlike cold porcelain. Lily stares intently. Lily's mother softly tucks her into bed. A tender gesture in the dimly lit room. Clara, the doll, sits perched on the shelf, her painted eyes watching over them. Long, distorted shadows stretch across the walls, creating an eerie atmosphere. The covers are pulled up to her chin, and Lily closes her eyes, ready for sleep. 2:47 a.m. Lily's mother stirs, a faint sound piercing her sleep. Heart pounding, she rises, an unseen fear gripping her. Quietly, she approaches Lily's room, a silhouette in the dim light. With hesitant steps, she pushes the door open, a sliver of darkness revealed. She peers into the room, a silent guardian against the night. Her eyes search the shadows, seeking reassurance in the stillness. Lily sleeps peacefully, her chest rising and falling in a gentle rhythm. Beside her, the doll mirrors Lily's breath, its chest moving in eerie synchronicity. The doll's imitation is perfect, a ghostly echo of life beside the sleeping girl. Lily's mother halts in the doorway, a silent observer of the unsettling scene. Her eyes widen with disbelief, questioning the reality of what she witnesses in the dim light. Sunlight bathes Lily's room as her mother approaches a doll on the bed, a silent observer in the morning's calm. She lifts the doll, its porcelain skin cold and lifeless, a stark contrast to the warmth of the sun. A sigh escapes her lips, the weight of the previous night lingering in the air. A faint smile touches her lips as she dismisses the haunting vision as a mere hallucination born of sleeplessness. Lily's room is filled with the soft cadence of sleep, a peaceful sanctuary under the cloak of night. Barely audible whispers dance through the darkness, weaving untold stories. A gentle breeze stirs the curtains, casting shadows that flicker and play across the walls. In the quiet of the night, secrets linger, whispered on the breath of dreams. Lily's room is drowned in shadow, the moonlight barely piercing through the curtains, painting the scene with quiet mystery. The air hangs still, heavy with unspoken anxieties and hushed promises, filling the room with a somber mood. Lily's gentle voice breaks the silence, a soft promise cutting through the darkness. She whispers, her words a soothing balm in the oppressive night.
Don't worry, Clara. I'll stay awake so you can rest.
Morning light streams into Lily's room, revealing Lily curled in a tight ball, her face hidden. Clara lies sprawled on the bed, her body radiating an unnatural heat. Close up on Clara's face, her cheeks flushed with fever. Lily remains motionless, lost in a deep, troubled sleep. Sunlight casts long shadows across the room, highlighting the stillness. The room is silent, save for Clara's shallow, rapid breaths. Sunlight floods the kitchen as Martha nervously fidgets with a dish towel, a storm brewing in her eyes. George sits calmly with his newspaper, oblivious to Martha's inner turmoil. Martha blurts, her voice barely a whisper.
George, I'm worried about Lily.
George lowers his paper, a flicker of annoyance crossing his face.
Worried? About what?
Martha's eyes dart around, filled with unspoken fears.
She's been acting so strange lately.
A chilling silence hangs in the air as Martha utters,
And that doll.
In Lily's bedroom, the night casts long shadows, highlighting the innocence of youth. Lily's mother watches from the doorway, a silent observer in the dim light. Her gaze is fixed on Lily and Clara, their bond a reason to her growing unease. The air thickens with unspoken tension, a mother's intuition on high alert. Each shadow seems to deepen her worry, the room a stage for her anxieties. Anxiety creeps in, painting her face with concern as she observes the children. Morning light floods Lily's room, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Lily lies motionless in her bed, tangled in her sheets, a figure of unsettling stillness. Sarah and Mark stand frozen in the doorway, their shadows stretching long and distorted in the bright light. A silent dread begins to take hold as they watch Lily, fear twisting their features. The sunlight, once welcoming, now seems to mock their growing panic with its indifferent warmth. Their faces are etched with a silent scream, their hearts pounding with mounting terror. They immediately take Lily to the hospital. Doctors gather, their faces grim, around Lily's still form in the hospital room. A silent vigil of fading hope. Monitors beep softly, charting her weak pulse against the backdrop of a haunting, sterile silence. There are no wounds, no visible sickness, only the chilling mystery of her unresponsive state. Her heart beats faintly, a fragile rhythm in the face of encroaching stillness. The touch of her skin is cold, the warmth of life slowly slipping away. The room is filled with unspoken questions, a desperate plea for a sign amidst the quiet despair. Sunlight streams into Lily's bedroom, illuminating Clara sitting upright on the floor, her eyes gleaming unnaturally. Clara's lips are slightly parted, as if she's about to speak, yet silence hangs heavy in the air. An unsettling aura emanates from the doll, a subtle shift in the atmosphere. The room seems to hold its breath, the bright cheerfulness now tainted with an undercurrent of sinister mystery. A close-up reveals an almost imperceptible smirk playing on the doll's painted lips. In Lily's room, her mother picks up the doll, its porcelain face serene against the chaotic backdrop. As she holds the doll, a creeping horror distorts her features, her eyes widening in disbelief. A voice whispers, intensifying the dread.
She feels a faint, steady pulse under its lace sleeve.
Her grip tightens on the doll, the subtle life within a chilling moment in silent room. In the dim attic, dust motes swirl like stars in a single ray of sunlight. Lily's mother kneels, her youthful face framed by shadows and secrets. She lifts the heavy lid of an old wooden box, its hinges groaning like a whispered memory. Inside, nestled in faded velvet, lies a doll, its painted eyes staring blankly ahead. A silent echo of childhood dreams and forgotten stories fills the attic. In the dimly lit room, Lily's grandmother is hunched over a table, a flickering candle casting eerie shadows on her face. The flickering candlelight reveals the grandmother performing a strange ritual with a doll. Her lips move, forming words in a low, guttural voice as she chants in the darkness. The scene is filled with an unsettling and mysterious atmosphere. In the hospital, Lily struggles for breath, her pale face stark against the white pillow. Doctors and nurses work urgently around Lily's bed, their faces reflecting deep concern. Worried glances are exchanged as they monitor Lily's erratic vitals. A doctor adjusts the IV, a silent battle against Lily's sudden decline. Lily's mother stands tall, her gaze fixed on Doll, her eyes blaze with fierce resolve, reflecting the depth of her maternal love and determination. The doll sits innocently on the bed, an eerie stillness contrasting with the mother's intensity. Every muscle in her body is taut with determination, a silent promise to protect her child. Her voice rings out, filled with raw emotion.
Release my daughter.
Clara's eyes, once innocent, now darken ominously. An ancient grudge seems to seep into the doll's gaze. The light catches the eyes, revealing a disturbing depth. A subtle shift, the eyes no longer reflect childhood innocence. The doll's stare intensifies, hinting at hidden powers. A chilling transformation occurs within the doll's eyes. In the dim light of Lily's bedroom, her mother's face is illuminated, her gaze fixed on a doll resting on the bed. A subtle shift in her expression reveals a hardening resolve, a silent promise etched in the lines of her face. She went to search for a toolbox, its contents hinting at the task ahead. A hammer is pulled from the toolbox. Its metallic gleam is opposite to the room's soft light. The hammer is raised, a symbol of her unshakable resolve in the quiet, shadowed room. She came in the room, raises the hammer, a shadow of determination in her eyes, readying to strike. An icy chill floods the room, frosting the windows with intricate patterns. The doll's eyes snap open, glowing with an eerie, hateful red light. An unseen force hurtles through the air, targeting Mother. Mother is thrown backwards, a scream frozen on her lips. Lily lies motionless in the hospital bed, her fate hanging in the balance as machines beep a somber rhythm. A piercing, sustained tone erupts from the heart monitor, its shrillness cutting through the silence. Far away, Clara, the cherished porcelain doll, explodes into fragments, a wave of dark energy pulsing from the shattered remains. Lily's eyes snap open, her breath catching in a sudden, desperate gasp. An unsettling intensity flares within her gaze, opposite to the fragile girl who lay there moments before. The change is obvious, a disturbing transformation seizing her very essence. Truly, some toys are made to play with, and some are made to take your place. Dear viewers, it's a story of a 7-year-old boy who refuses to sleep because he says a shadow creature eats him every time he closes his eyes. And the camera footage proves he's telling the truth. The story unfolds like this. Once upon a time, there was a small boy who was possessed since his birth. At night, 7-year-old Ibrahim sleeps peacefully in his bed. Soft shadows dance gently across the walls of Ibrahim's room, painting the scene with a dreamlike quality. A dim nightlight casts a warm, protective glow, enveloping Ibrahim in its comforting embrace. In the dim light, Ibrahim bursts into his parents' bedroom, his small frame trembling with fear. Long shadows dance across the walls, amplifying the terror in his wide eyes. His voice, barely a whisper, breaks the silence.
Mama, I can't sleep.
The room is still, save for Ibrahim's ragged breathing. Every corner seems to hold a hidden dread, fueling his sleepless night. He clutches at his pajamas, seeking comfort in the familiar fabric. Ibrahim halts at the doorway, a stark barrier between him and his room, fear etched on his face. His mother kneels, hands reaching, a silent plea for him to overcome his terror.
No, when I sleep, it eats me.
Ibrahim cries, his voice cracking with raw emotion, a child's fear in the night. He trembles, eyes wide with haunting memories. The room behind him looms, a dark abyss promising nightmares. the very air thick with unspoken horrors. Ibrahim, slumped on the couch, battles the heavy pull of sleep in the dimly lit living room. His eyes burn, bloodshot and desperate, reflecting the exhaustion that threatens to consume him. A silent plea etches itself onto his face, a desperate fight against the encroaching darkness. He whispers, his voice hoarse with fatigue and fear.
Don't let me sleep.
His grip tightens on the worn fabric of the couch, a tangible manifestation of his inner turmoil. Morning light fills Ibrahim's room, casting a stark shadow over his mother's horrified face. Her eyes fixate on Ibrahim's back, where deep, raw scratch marks mar his skin. A silent scream builds within her as she struggles to comprehend the horrifying sight. Her voice trembling, she cries out. The question stays heavy in the air.
Ibrahim, who did this?
In the living room, Ibrahim sits, his face pale and gaunt, a stark contrast to the warm hues of the worn sofa. He fidgets nervously, his hands clasped tightly, a silent struggle unfolding before his concerned parents. His parents sit opposite him, their faces etched with worry, their eyes searching for answers in his troubled gaze. Ibrahim's voice trembles as he breaks the heavy silence. I told you, it eats me. The room holds its breath, the weight of his words hanging heavy in the air, unanswered questions echoing in the silence. Next night, father decided to put camera. In Ibrahim's dimly lit bedroom, shadows stretch long as a father sets up a camera. The camera stands as a silent guard, ready to capture the truth of the night. The father adjusts the lens, a determined glint in his eyes against the soft light. He speaks softly, his voice a low promise in the quiet room.
I'm setting up the camera. Tomorrow, you'll see there is no monster.
Hope flickers in the dimness as the camera watches, waiting for the night to reveal its secrets. In the tense silence of the living room, parents watch a monitor, their faces illuminated by the cold light. On the screen, Ibrahim thrashes in his sleep, a silent battle raging behind his furrowed brow. The air is thick with worry, each breath held as they observe their son's troubled rest. An expectant silence fills the room as they hope for a peaceful night for Ibrahim. Above him, the bedroom lights flicker with an eerie, unsettling rhythm. Dancing shadows stretch across the walls, twisting familiar shapes into frightening figures. Each flicker increases the fear, painting his face with fleeting strokes of fear. His body tenses and relaxes, a silent battle against unseen terrors. The room pulses with a dark energy, a stage for Ibrahim's solitary nightmare. Deep in slumber, Ibrahim lies unaware, his face peaceful among the encroaching fear. From beneath the bed, a long, bony black hand emerges slowly, reaching into the dim light. Its skeletal fingers twitch, grasping at the air with an unsettling, silent menace. Ibrahim whimpers softly, a subconscious terror stirring within his dreams. The hand inches closer, its shadow stretching ominously across the floor towards the sleeping figure. A chilling prelude unfolds, promising a nightmare about to invade Ibrahim's reality. The bedroom falls into eerie darkness, the only light source the camera's faint glow, casting long, distorted shadows. A tall shadow begins to materialize, its form indistinct and terrifying. The creature's limbs contort at impossible angles as it begins its ascent, defying the natural laws of movement. Its unnatural gait sending shivers down the spine. The camera shakes violently, capturing the horrifying spectacle in fragmented, clashing glimpses. The shadow looms larger, its silent, relentless climb filling the room with an oppressive fear. Night vision reveals Ibrahim's dimly lit bedroom, shadows dancing ominously. A grotesque creature looms, its silhouette casting long, distorted shadows. A gnarled hand descends, pressing against Ibrahim's chest. Ibrahim's body jerks violently under the creature's touch. Eyes snap open, wide with terror. As Ibrahim confronts the nightmare, Ibrahim jolts awake, a silent scream trapped in his throat, sweat glistening on his brow in the dim light. A grotesque form lurks under the bed, a nightmare barely glimpsed before it melts into the shadows. Terror grips Ibrahim, his eyes wide with fear as he stares into the abyss, a silent scream escaping his lips. Morning sunlight fills the living room, highlighting dust motes in the air. The mother sits hunched, the screen's flickering light casting shadows on her face. Tears stream down her face as she watches, her body shaking with raw emotion. A whisper escapes her lips, a mix of disbelief and realization.
This is real. This is real.
Morning light floods the living room, illuminating Ibrahim's trembling figure in the doorway. His face is pale, etched with a fear that seems to seep from the very depths of his being. He clutches the doorframe, his knuckles white against the dark wood. His voice trembles, barely a whisper against the morning silence.
I told you.
Ibrahim says, his eyes wide with a haunting dread.
It waits for me to sleep.
Ibrahim sleeps in his parents' bed, the room illuminated, yet shadows of dread cling to every corner. The bright lights cast long shadows, failing to dispel the oppressive atmosphere. His small form is dwarfed by the large bed, a silent of his fear and vulnerability. The air is thick with unspoken anxieties, each breath heavy with the weight of the unknown. Even in sleep, the tension lingers, a tangible presence in the brightly lit yet haunted room. The room is a sanctuary, but also a stark reminder of the dangers lurking outside its walls. The digital clock flashes 2:57 a.m., casting an eerie light in the parents' bedroom. Long, distorted shadows dance ominously across the walls, creating a sense of unease. Ibrahim whispers, his voice filled with dread.
It's here.
The lights flicker and die, plunging the room into darkness as something unseen crawls on the ceiling. Dim light casts long shadows across the bedroom as Ibrahim sobs, tears carving paths down his pale cheeks. His parents watch, their faces a mixture of helplessness and growing terror in the eerie gloom. Ibrahim's voice cracks with fear.
No matter where I sleep, it follows me.
The shadows seem to deepen, embracing the room as Ibrahim's terror intensifies. His parents decided to take him to the doctor. Inside the sterile doctor's office, Ibrahim sits opposite the sleep specialist, the air heavy with unspoken fear. Medical charts loom, starkly illuminating Ibrahim's fading health. The sleep specialist leans forward, his expression grave. The doctor warns, his words hanging in the tense air.
If he doesn't sleep soon, his body will shut down.
Ibrahim stares ahead, the specialist's dire prognosis painting a grim picture of his future. Ibrahim's parents visit a spiritual healer. In a room filled with incense, a spiritual healer listens to the parents, his eyes reflecting concern. The healer's somber tone fills the room as he reveals,
The creature is not in your house. It is tied to the boy, feeding on him since birth.
Sunlight floods the healer's room, illuminating the air as the healer gestures calmly. their presence serene. The mother stands, her face etched with worry, her body tense with unspoken fears. The healer's voice echoes with conviction.
To stop it, he must face it while awake.
Desperation laces the mother's strained whisper, but he can't. He can barely stay awake. The healer's steady gaze meets the mother's, a silent promise of guidance in the sunlit room. Dim light stretches across the living room, shadows dancing with unspoken fears as Ibrahim trembles. Ibrahim fights to stay awake, his small body heavy with exhaustion. The father kneels beside Ibrahim, his face lined with deep worry and love. His father's voice, a soothing whisper in the oppressive dark.
Just a little longer, son.
The father pleads with his son, battling the encroaching darkness.
Stay with us.
A silent promise hangs in the air as father and son cling to each other in the dim light. Dim light stretches shadows across the living room as Ibrahim's eyes roll back, his body seizing. The air thickens, an icy chill invading the room, raising goosebumps on exposed skin.
I can't.
Ibrahim gasps, his voice strained against an unseen pressure. From the inky blackness, a shadow peels away from the wall, drawn by an unknown force. The darkness slithers into the room, a silent predator answering a desperate call. In the living room's dim expanse, shadows stir, twisting into a formless dread. The shadow creature rises, a dark silhouette against the pale moonlight. Its form solidifies, growing taller, darker, angrier with each passing moment. A mother's fierce protectiveness ignites, her voice a defiant cry against the encroaching darkness.
Stay away from my child.
Mother's voice echoes, a challenge to the monstrous entity. The father's voice echoes, a desperate prayer against the encroaching darkness. He burns the healer's incense, a fragrant offering against the unseen terror lurking in the shadows. A creature shrieks. It's a cry noise of 100 tormented voices. A blinding flash burns in the room, vanishing the shadow in a burst of light. Ibrahim collapses, finding refuge in his mother's embrace as the scent of ozone lingers.
It's over. We saved him.
His father whispered in disbelief.